So we have a little surprise today. Today, I'm going to show you Chanel Holiday. Yes, Holiday. Yeah, you can hear Harper's excited too. So today I have most of the holiday collection. There's actually quite a bit in this collection and I didn't pick up everything, but I picked up one of everything, if that makes sense. So let me go through it really quickly. Highlighter. There's one highlighter. It's the oversized highlighter. It is called Diamond Dust. It's an apt name for it. I'll explain soon. Then we have Enchanted Night, which is again an oversized palette, eyeshadow, and blush. Then we have nail polishes. There are two nail polishes. I picked up Storyteller. It is a very deep purple, reminiscent of Vamp. If you remember Vamp from the olden days, it is a very, very deep purple. And I actually really like it. I think it's a very pretty color. So if you're one of those people who loved Vamp, this is a similar, in the same kind of vein. Then we have one liquid eyeshadow, the Longwear liquid eyeshadow. This is in Milky Way, number 47. Don't worry, we'll have swatches and all that good stuff. We're just showing you the overview. Then we have two Ultra Tenue lip colors. I only picked up one of them. The color that I picked up is Crystal Pink. It's not really, it's pink, but it's not like Barbie pink. We'll get into that in a sec. There are four Rouge L'Astres. The L'Astres are the very expensive small lipsticks, which I happen to really like, but they are quite expensive. And again, I picked up two. I picked up 927 and I picked up 937. 927 is Orange Polaire. 937 is Rouge Spectral. And the Rouge Allure Extrays come in these very small packages. Not as small as Tom Ford stilettos, but you know, still pretty small. But they have the special packaging for holiday. The stamp or whatever you want to call it is different than the regular CCs. So you press, it's like a pop top, and then you get the very, very tiny lipstick. These are refillable. That's the only, it's not the only positive I would say, but I mean, considering how much they are, you know, I get it. So there are four of those. I picked up two shades. There are two liquid liners. I picked up both liners. The shades are, they're deep. One is Prune Mysterio, which I was wearing in that picture that you guys were trying to guess what I was wearing. And the other one is Brune Faux. And I will have swatches for all of these, but the one thing I would say about liquid eyeliners, if you're somebody who doesn't wear a liquid eyeliner, don't buy them. Because I hear so many people who are like, oh, but it's such a pretty color and I really liked it. Yeah, but if you don't use liquid eyeliner, these are, you know, these aren't, none of this stuff is inexpensive. So if you're not somebody who's gonna use a liquid eyeliner, again, I would not suggest you pick these up, but the colors are, I have to say, quite pretty. All right, so let's get into it. What do I have on my face? I have on the Teint de Touch in B10. This is my favorite Chanel foundation. The number one comes after, but this I absolutely love. I use my fingers to put it in. I just find like that's the easiest thing to do. And the Sublimage Balm, the like highlighting, it's, I'll make sure there's a picture of it that goes up. It's very expensive. It's like makes your skin look so incredibly healthy. And it's skincare as well, but I'm just like, Chanel, you couldn't have priced that just a little bit lower? Apparently not. But anyway, it's a great product and I probably will give in at some point and buy it. I have a sample that I've been using. You need very little, but I mean, still, the price point is, it's high. All right, so first of all, I've showed you the nail polishes. The nail polishes are $32. This is $32 in Storyteller, deep plum, really pretty. I like the shade. It's just, it's very similar to Vamp. Vamp has more of that red. This has more of that plum. It just depends if that's something that you would wear if you want. Let's hit the highlighter next. Now, some of you may have seen swatches of the highlighter. Diamond Dust is a good descriptor for this product. You can see in the packaging, you know, it's a really beautiful, it's a beautiful highlight. Like the embossing on here is really nice. I like the way they did it. You know, it's elegant in its design, but again, you're gonna ruin this embossing when you use it. And frankly, buying something to have it sit in a drawer when it's makeup, to me, does not make sense, especially when it is $95. Yes, $95. I will say though, there's a lot of powder in here. It is 0.53 ounces, 15 grams. It is limited edition, and as you've seen, it's oversized. So there's a lot of product in here, but it's $95. So to put this on today, I'm going to use my new Hourglass brush in the Evil Eye, which I did pick up. I am going to pick up one of the palettes, but I'm going to actually pick up the Dragon palette, but in the Evil Eye packaging, so I have to do that on Hourglass. But I've decided it is really nice. I will do it. I just don't have to do it right this moment. All right, so let's go ahead and put this on the face. Now, the first thing I would say is that if you don't like glitter, you're not gonna like this product. Here we go. Now you're gonna say to me, Jennifer, how would you know? Because it's obvious you haven't used this before. No, but I used it in the store. So the picture that I had up on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, I put a picture and said, can you guess what collection I'm wearing? And it is this collection, the holiday collection from Chanel. And you know, it actually looked really nice on me, and I did not see that coming, because these shades aren't really my shades. In fact, they're shades that I tend to gravitate away from. The pinks, like the fuchsia, and the purple, the deep purple, but actually they look really nice with my coloring, and I was very surprised. But what I will say is they're not necessarily the shades that everybody is going to think of when they first, think of like holiday. I love the fact that Chanel did something different. Again, I have to say, like, I am proud. I'm proud of my former company. Yeah, I like they did that. Okay, you see that highlight, right? You see that glitter. This is glittery. As I swatched it on the brush, glitter got all over the packaging. When I swatch it, and I'll put it on my arm here, it is pure, glittery. It's almost like a little bit of pink, actually. And it's really pretty, but it's super glittery. It's diamond dust. I think, personally, that this is going to be gorgeous as a décolletage kind of thing. Like if you're wearing a beautiful strapless dress and you want to put this here, I think it's going to look so beautiful. And I think if you put it on your face, like I just did, or if you use it as a very light dusting to have like this, really sparkly look, I think it's going to be really nice. I also think if you use your finger and pat it on the eye, it's going to be beautiful. But it's going to accentuate texture, and it is absolutely glittery. So when everybody was asking, like, is it glittery? Is this? Yes, it's diamond dust. That's exactly what it is. You decide, whether this is something for you or not. Okay. We're gonna do the eyeshadow and blush palette last, because that's the biggest piece here, literally and figuratively. So this shade, this is the liquid eyeshadow, and this is in Milky Way, and it's $38. It is described as a long wear liquid eyeshadow. It is in Milky Way, as I said, number 47, and it says glitter on it. Now, I have swatched it and I have used it, and I actually don't get glitter from this, and I'm like trying to shake it up more, because like maybe the glitter's at the bottom, which I'm doing now. But I don't really get a super glittery look out of this. I'm gonna try it again. But I will say there's glitter in here, like I can see it, but it doesn't look particularly glittery to me. That's why they're called long wear. They're not like waterproof, or they're not like the crayons that go on and then, they're like waterproof and they stay on. They're more like just a long wear shadow. So it's not my favorite product, but what I would say is that I do like having like a deep shade like that. It's Milky Way, so it's almost black. If I want to really deepen up a look, that's something that, you can do very easily with something like this. Put it down on your lid. You can, you know, blend it out so it's not as deep, and then put things over it. Especially like a duochrome or something, that looks actually quite good with a black base. So that is something you want. That is the Milky Way. Lipsticks, the Astray lipsticks that are very expensive. They are $58 a piece, and they are 0.07 ounces. Which is not a lot. The two shades that I picked up, as I said, were 927 and 937. 927 is Orange Polaire and 937 is Rouge Spectral. One of the things that I don't like about the Rouge Allures is once you take the cap off, you don't know what shade it is. Because these are refillable, so you don't know what the shade is. And then when you try to look on the side of this little teeny bullet to find out what the shade is, it's like blended with the gold, and you're just like, even if you have really excellent eyesight, it's almost impossible to see. So you have to get out a magnifying glass to figure out what your shade is. So that I always find annoying. But the other thing I would say is that this embossing on the bottom, the holiday embossing, which is really pretty and really cool, if you put the lipstick down like this, it's not completely flat. So when you go to put it down, it like weeble wobbles. So just remember that when you go put it on something. When you put it back in the case and you put it on this end and you put it down, it's fine. But if you take it out of the case to put it on and then for some reason just put this down, it will fall over. So just be aware of that as you play with them. I think the shades are very pretty. The two shades I picked up, again, 927 and 928, I think the four shades were really nice. Too warm and too cool. These are more the warmer shades, I would say. This is 927 Orange Polaire. Let's put it, let's do it here. I love the formula of the Rouge Allure L'Astray, but again, I know they're expensive. And then 937, which is Rouge Spectral. And those are the two shades. I will put this one on for now, 927, just so I have something on my lips and I don't feel like my face looks so pale. I mean, I know it is pale, but I just, I want it to look as pale as it is. So there is the 927. This is the orange shade. Again, these are $58 for a very little amount of product. I really like the formula in these. They're really smooth, they're very nourishing and moisturizing, and they're really easy to go on because they fit perfectly on my lips. But if you're looking for, a really good lipstick that has, great formula, there's other ones out there that are not going to cost you $58 for this tiny, tiny amount. I just happen to really like these. I think the formula is beautiful. I think the coverage is great. They're very moisturizing. I like the fact that they're thinner and then I actually get a little less of them because I have a lot of lipstick, and so I actually can get through one of these, which is kind of nice because lipsticks go bad. But I get it. $58, it's a high price point for a very small amount. Now the other lip product, as I mentioned in the beginning, is the Ultra Wear Shine Liquid Lip Color. I have 94 Crystal Pink. This is what I was wearing in that picture that everybody commented on, and a bunch of you reached out and said you really liked the lip color. It is a lip color that I would not have picked for myself, to be honest. It is almost magenta in nature. It's very fuchsia. It's like fuchsia. And there's definitely glitter in there, or looks like glitter anyway. Crystal pink is a good description. It does look like crystal, crystalline. It is not transfer proof, kind of like the eyewear, the long wearing eye liquid. It is, however, something that as it wears, you are left behind with a stain. You are left behind with a shade. And I'm going to show you a picture of me when I get through all this with the full look, when I first have put it on, and then when it would be, how many hours? 10 hours later. So you'll see the entire look 10 hours later, and you'll see how well this lasts. I actually think that is one of the standout products of this collection because it is really beautiful and it's unusual. Like you don't really see that color, that fuchsia with this type of shine in it that lasts as well as it did. Like it really held up. I mean, I went for shopping. I was doing some shopping. I had a chai. I had Malaysian food. Like there was a lot of like sauces and drinks and stuff, and then an entire event and many Uber rides. And it's you'll see the 10-hour mark. It looked pretty good, so I was impressed that the shade held up as well as it did. It was nice. The liquid eyeliners, before we get to the multi-purpose oversized palette. So we have two, Brune Fou and Prune Mysterio. So I was wearing Prune, and again, not a shade I would have necessarily picked for myself, but it's actually quite nice on the eye. The purple, it's such a deep purple, kind of like the nail polish, that it looks really pretty because it's a little bit of color to like, especially if you have green eyes, it's gonna bring out green. A purple's gonna bring out green, but it's so deep it almost looks black. So here are the two shades, and here is the Faux, and here is the Prune. And I think you can see the Brune Faux, and then the Prune. The Brune it has a little bit of red to it. It's a warmish shade, but it's a gorgeous brown. Like it's really a nice brown. And then the plum, the Prune is so deep that it's hard to see that it's not black. But on the eye, it looks really nice. And I will put some on today so you guys can see it. And the liners, by the way, are $42. All right, so this is the extra large, oversized Enchanted Night. It is, again, these are all limited edition, and it is 0.42 ounces and 12 grams. So it is smaller than the highlighter. The highlighter is 0.53 ounces and 15 grams, as I mentioned a moment ago. It is cheaper than the highlighter. It is $88, which I have to go back and look at my old video, but I think it's either the same price or less than it was. So that's, I have to double check that. But we've had these oversized palettes before. And when they did them last time, they had a lot of red in it, red and pinks. And I was just like, I still have them. I have many times contemplated selling them because I don't use them. I don't reach for them. As someone reminded me when I posted something about the Dior palettes, I don't like face products with other face products in a palette because they're too close together and it bugs me. However, I will say these are so big and round, it's not as bad because I'm also using them for eyes, but I still would prefer, again, this is just me, I would still prefer my face palette, face products to be separate. So let's say I wanted to use this as blush, I would just want this to be by itself in a blush container. Maybe side by side. I'm okay with the duos because they're pretty, they're large and that's fine. But I feel like somehow, again, if I'm going to use a big brush, I'm like, do I really want to, mess with it? So what I did with the look the other day that you saw in the picture, and actually I'll just put that look up right now. One of the Stylo contour sticks that came out for Etia. So Atteaya, the one that came out that had like this, it was really pretty like brownish, reddish, had some sparkle to it. That's what we used all over the eye. The eyeliner we used was Cassis, and then we used, all of these different shades. And I have to say, I was surprised. Like, when we started it, I was just like, I don't know. But there was a national makeup artist from Chanel that was in, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna be open to trying different things, like what her suggestions were and like, what she wanted to do. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna be open to that. And what she kind of did is she took this shade and used it with a fan brush, sort of like the highlight part, and then used this as the blush. And then this was pushed into the lid. And then this was pushed into the eyelash line. This was put on the lid and inner corner. And then the underneath of the look was that Atia shade that had come out in the summer. And so when it was done, I was like, oh, this is going to be very fuchsia. I'm not going to like it. I was like, wow, that actually looks really nice. And when I was doing it, I was like, okay, like this is actually a really pretty look, but it's not something that I would have necessarily gone and done for myself. So it's just a reminder, it's always good, no matter how proficient you become at makeup or hair or anything else that you do, in fact, anything that you do, that you can always learn new things from other people, even if it's not a technique, even if it's just a get out of your own comfort zone and try different things, because you might be surprised at how much you like. So we're going to take this coral tone. I'm going to use, this is a Wayne Goss brush. This is the F5. I love this brush for when you want to do something light and ethereal. You don't want it to be too much. And just kind of fan this. And this is a really pretty coral shade. Now it has a luminosity of its own, but when you put it on over the glitter, it becomes even more so. But it's so much prettier, in my opinion, than it is in the pan. Like it looks, kind of looks like pumpkin in the pan. And I guess it is. I mean, I guess it is kind of a pumpkin shade. Perfect for October. But I really like it. My coloring, I guess, lends itself to it a little bit because of my hair. If you really don't like anything that has an orange tone, then you probably won't like it. But it's not orange. It's more like a pumpkin, I guess. There's a warmth to it, but it has this like undertone of brown. So it doesn't skew too yellow. And it really does look very pretty on the cheek. If you have it, and I'm going to show you the swatch, I'm going to do swatches for you in a sec. If you put it just on your skin without the glitter underneath, you see the luminosity in that, how beautiful that is. And again, guys, I was not predisposed to love this. I was kind of like, The orange tone is beautiful. So now we have this fuchsia shade that matches the long wear lip color that I was wearing yesterday. And, or no, 2 days ago. And this shade very much does match that shade. It's a fuchsia magenta. It has less luminosity than the orange, in my opinion. There's quite a bit of pigment here. And again, that is a good thing, in my opinion, because it means more people can use it. It depends on whether you like that shade, of course, but it has the pigment that you need if you have a deeper skin tone. So I'm going to take the same brush, again, because I don't want a lot of shade, and I'm going to now I just popped it on, and then I'll blend it out. And what I tell you is that when we first did the look the other day, we did not have the highlighter on because, and the National Makeup Artist did not say this, so I am saying this. I think she didn't love it, the highlighter. Now that could be because she looked at me and thought, okay, this is an older person, maybe she doesn't want glitter. That could have been it, but I don't think so. I think it was, she loved the face palette, and she loved the lip, and there was other in the liner, but I don't think she loved the glitter, the disco dusk. I know it's not called disco dust. It's called diamond dust, but you know what I mean? Like, I got that impression. Again, those are my thoughts, my words, not hers. Okay, so I'm gonna leave those two products as the cheek products. And then for the eye products, I'm gonna use this, and then I'm gonna use a little bit of this. When we did the look a couple days ago, we used the Atia to work as a base. Those products are great as base, I think. They serve an excellent purpose. They create a great underpinning for whatever else you want to put on the eye, and I think they really do look, those liners, the contour liners that came out, they are great. I still want them to come out with the eye crayons that they came out with 10 years ago, but in the meantime, I will settle for the contour. The shades they had were those very, you know, like they had the lime and the, you know, the other stuff. But the Atia's shade was, I thought, you know, much more subdued in comparison. In fact, I'm just going to pull it out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I think it's going to go really well with this collection. I pull up my sleeve here. See how it's like a, like almost like a warmer tone than this, like a deeper, warmer tone from this. Yeah, it's a great one for this, in my opinion, for this collection. I think it's going to go really well with this. I'm not really sure why they put these out in summer. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't know why they were summer collection. Like, they obviously fit with the fall stuff, and that's how I'm going to review them. But anyway, so I used the orangey shade in here as my base instead of that. So that one was a deeper look. But I think you can see it has a similar tone. It's just deeper in shade. So put that down first, and then I'm going to take the purple shade, very deep purple, and I'm going to shove it into my lash line. I know that sounds like a funny way to say it, but that's really what it is. Like, I'm literally like going almost like liner, and then I'll build it up from there. Don't worry, we'll smooth it out, but I want you to see what I'm doing. So when we swatch this one, you'll see like it's purple. And it's going to be, I think, a great blush on like a deeper skin tone who has more of that like cool leaning. I think this will be really beautiful. But do you notice it has like some sparkle to it? So you'd want, if you're only going to do that if you want something more dramatic on your face, like as a cheek product. Otherwise, it's an eyeshadow, in my opinion. So I'm just going to kind of go over that at the top, kind of soften it a little. Blend it into that orange shade. Put a little more. Just building it up without like going too deep. Now, the silver shade. This is a very impactful shade. It looks like it's like wet. If you put that over this look, like on the lid, it will take over the look really easily. Like it'll be silver reflectiveness, which is, if that's what you want, then if that's what you're going for, then do that. I would say that it changes the way the colors look when you do that, because you don't really see as much of the purple or the orange or anything else. You just sort of see this silver. So I'm going to use it like we did the other day, as more of the inner corner. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to use it on the lid, but it's going to be like less so. Now I'm going to use the liner. Now, this is the purple liner, the Prune. This one here, the deeper one, the one that looks almost black. This color is, as you can see, like it changes the look a lot, because the purple is so intense, I think, that when you put it on the eye, like it makes the eyes kind of pop. So I'm going to use the same liner that we used the other day, which is the Cease, which I think I have. Hold on. And this color is really a great shade. It's kind of a purple brown. And I'm going to use it under the eye. And then I'm going to take that magenta shade, this one. I'm going to do the same on the top with the liner, the liquid liner. Okay, I'm going to take off this lip. I'm going to put on the pink one, but I'm also going to put some mascara on and come right back, and so you can see the finished look. Okay, so mascara is on. I think you can see this was very similar to the look that I did yesterday, except the difference was I used the Atia as the base, and today we used the orange from the palette. But I didn't really want to pull in, you know, too many other things. I wanted to just see it, just what's in here in front of me. Yes, the Cassis liner, that is something, but you can pick that one up. Everything else is the holiday collection. I think you can see how striking it is, how really beautiful the collection looks together, which is not something I would have assumed looking at the shades. The shades are all very pigmented. This is a very silvery, very shimmery shade. So what I want to show you though is next to Diamond Dust, how does that silver shade look? And I think you'll see that they are very different products. Here's the one from the multi-use palette, and here is the Diamond Dust. The Diamond Dust looks more like a luminescence powder, which is what it is. This definitely looks more like a sparkly eyeshadow when you compare them next to one another. If I take a little bit of it and put it on my eyes, I'm not going to use much. It is more subtle, actually, than the silver shade that's in the multi-use palette. The silver shade in the multi-use palette is like really sparkly and just like it's I love it. It's beautiful, but it's a lot. All right, the last step for today, we are gonna take the Crystal Pink and put it on the lips. The liner that we used the other day was Pivot, which you absolutely can use with this. Looks really good with this shade. It is far less scary on the lips than it is in the swatch. When you first look at it, at least when I looked at it, I was like, sure. But it actually is a beautiful shade on. It has got this shimmer slash glitter to it that is beautiful. And even when you completely wipe it off, you are left with this. That's using a microfiber towel, guys. So here's the look when it first went on yesterday. And my hair was pulled back because I had to walk around and I got hot. It was hot here in Boston, believe it or not. And then this shot is from 10 hours later. Now, obviously, there's, you know, there's a lot of wear and tear to my face, but it is 10 hours later. No, I didn't filter anything, no anything, guys. That's in, and it's not in great lighting. It's in, like it's in harsh lighting. So you get to see everything, all the bumps and lumps, but it held up really well for 10 hours. And, you know, eating and drinking and all that good stuff. So I am very impressed with the formulas. I'm very impressed with the shades. I actually like them far more than I thought I would. Again, this lip color, that Crystal Pink, I would not have picked this up. But I really like it. The only thing that I didn't show you today was this. This is the Milky Way. And you can see as it's dried down, you have more of the glitter. Again, I'm not really getting glitter from it. I'm getting shimmer, but that could be a good thing. I think this would look beautiful on and it would be a great base. I think if you used it by itself, it would create a very dramatic look. As in, you know, it's almost black eyeshadow with glitter in it, shimmer in it. So if you're looking for that, that's the product for you. I think, and again, I'm going to do a lot more with these products. I spent quite a bit of money. Overall, the total on all of this was $532. So I'm going to get my return on investment. But I think I'm going to use that shade, the Milky Way, as I'm going to let it sit on the eye a little bit and then blend it out. And I'm going to see how that looks on the eye, because I think that might be a pretty look. With like black eyeliner and then black mascara and then a light lip. I think that might be kind of a dramatic like holiday party kind of thing, maybe even New Year's. So I'm gonna try different things and you know, see what I think. To wrap up, this I like far more than I thought I would, because I really did not like the other oversized palettes that came out. These shades are, in my opinion, much more suited for blush and eyeshadow. I don't think I'll use this shade on my eyes because I don't think it'll look good on me. I used these three shades today and I think it looks great. I think it looks really good. The silver is, like I said, really impactful and impressive. You could, you know, that you could just use that by itself. This is a really nice blush shade. It's like a fuchsia though, so if you don't like that, you won't like this. This is a really great burnt, it's almost like a burnt orange. It's really pretty. I, again, used it on my eyes and I used it on my face. I think it's really beautiful. The highlighter. Here's the thing, right, about this highlighter. I think if you put it down first, like I did, and then you put blush products over it, whether it's Chanel or any other, I think it actually looks quite nice, and it kind of gives you this shiny, shimmery holiday look. But it's not going to be my favorite highlighter. And I think this is more of like a body décolletage kind of thing. For me, that's what I would use it for more often than anything else, because it definitely looks like a diamond dust, which is this name, on the face. So if you have texture, or if you don't like that kind of sparkly, you know, look, that's what it is. So again, for $95, will I ever use that much highlighter? Probably not. Probably not. It's pretty, but I don't think it's that practical. But I mean, not all, you know, not all makeup's meant to be practical. Like, I get that. The liquid eyeliners, I think, are beautiful. I really love the shades. If you don't like liquid eyeliner, though, guys, if you don't use it, don't get it. The La Strays, I love this formula, but it's $58 for practically no lipstick. I sound like I'm talking you out of it. It's not. I really love the collection, but I always try to be blunt with you guys. And then the nail polish in Storyteller. I think this is a beautiful shade. It's such a deep purple, though. It almost looks black, and it reminds me so much of Vamp. But her Vamp has like that redder undertone. This has more of a purple. So it is different, but you know how different? Don't know. The Atia contour stick, if you have this from the summer collection and you're picking this stuff up, I think it would go really well with everything. And like I said, I love the final look. I think it looks really good. Very impressed. I would not have gone with these colors on me. And I want to say, you know, thank you to Rihanna, the national makeup artist at Chanel, who came up with the shades and how to mix them. I really love the look. I think it looks great. So very pleased. That's it, guys. It's a pretty comprehensive video with lots of products in this collection. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, whether you're picking it up, which one's your favorite, were there any surprises here? Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.